Hello everyone, Voodoo here, and no, this is not a drill, this is not a joke. Havoc Demon Hunter has received buffs as of today's buff patch. They're going to be going live with the tuning next week during the maintenance for Embers of Neltharion. They're on the PTR right now. A ton of other changes too, but still only a Havoc channel, all right? So we're going to cover the Havoc stuff. So yeah, pretty big changes here. We'll go over them, go over some sims as well, talk about the whole thing. First off, big shout out to Bees, of course, from the Havoc Demon Hunter Discord. Homie has done all of these sims you see before you. He's kind of the driving catalyst of the Havoc Demon Hunter theory crafting, and he does a lot of the sim work. So big shout out to him. He did a lot of legwork behind here. But there are some changes here. We will go over them and talk about them, and then maybe do talk about some talent builds at the end. Before we get to that, though, if you enjoy the content, you like Havoc Demon Hunter, you like just WoW in general, then hit the sub button. Drop a like, drop a comment, help share this video to other people, help my channel grow. Appreciate y'all. So, you can read it here, but Demon Hunter, Havoc. So no Vengeance changes, but Demon's Bite damage increased by 8%, and Demon's Blades damage increased by 8%. So I'm going to kind of couple these together, because you can only have one or the other, and realistically, you're never taking Demon's Bite. Sorry, Demon's Bite, you're just not good enough. We have so many globals we'd rather do with Demon Blades that it's just never worth it to Demon's Bite. But basically, this is an 8% increase to our main single target builder. Pretty good. Literally just an 8% increase to our passive auto attacks, basically with Demon Blades. Because again, you're never taking Demon's Bite. This isn't really changing that. So just a nice little passive increase to our Demon's Blades damage. Can't complain there. Fellblade damage increased by 8%. Again, can't complain there. Just a nice little 8% increase to Fellblade. Now, these aren't that big of a buff. A lot of our damage isn't really these sources. But this one here, Chaos Strike Annihilation damage increased by 8%. Now, that is a pretty big deal. So I'll show you in some sims later. But Chaos Strike and Annihilation were set to be some of our largest portion of our damage going into next tier. So an 8% buff to that is going to be pretty sizable. It's going to be a pretty nice change. Now, again, all these buffs here are just a pure single target increase. They do nothing for us in AoE until, I don't know, hopefully we'll see Chaos Cleave. That'll be fun. Blizzard, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. But again, just a pure single target change, which is good. You don't really want to just randomly aura buff and have Havoc kind of just go through the roof in AoE or Cleave, which we're already very strong at. Single target was our weakness, and these are basically our only single target abilities. They could have like touched up like Isolated Prey, I guess, but 8% to all these. Pretty happy with this. Now we have some talent changes as well with this. So Serrated Glaive, the talent, the debuff duration is increased to 15 seconds, and it retains up to 30% additional duration when refreshed. So before, whenever you'd throw it out, it would just go to 10 seconds no matter what. If you had 7 seconds left on your dot and you threw Second Glaive, it would go straight to 10. It wouldn't pandemic and go up to 13, which it would now. Although 30% of 15 is definitely larger. I believe it's like 4 point something, because 33% would be 5. Anyways, no math here, but roughly 4 seconds. So if you glaive and glaive again, you'll have probably like 20 seconds. I don't think it's ever worth it to do that. Right now, we are just serrated glaving before we I-beam. Now, with this change, I think it is pretty possible to keep 100% uptime. We have no idea if that's good. It was pretty behind before, so I don't think that will change. But this is just a nice little bonus. Whenever you throw your glaive for the I-beam, it'll now last a little bit longer on the end there. 5 extra seconds is pretty good, and you'll have it up for more annihilations, leading to more single target damage with that. So that is a pretty good change overall. Serrated Glaive being 10 seconds and not pandemicking felt really, really bad. It felt really terrible. So 15 seconds and pandemic is a middle ground I can work with. I think 20 seconds would be the best choice. It would be a pretty big increase for us, and would kind of make the buff like a maintenance buff, which wouldn't be that bad to keep up. But overall, I do think Serrated Glaive going to 15 seconds and having that pandemic is pretty good. And finally, they fixed the issue for Chaos Theory, which where the bonus to crit chance wasn't actually affecting the offhand. So basically, for those of you who don't know, Chaos Strike and Annihilation are, you push the button once and hit the target twice. You do a main hand hit and an offhand hit. You can kind of see your character do that, doing like one hit then another if you watch closely. And basically what was happening is the buff to Chaos Theory, which gave you the crit chance after you used Blade Dance, would only affect the first hit and then would fall off and not affect the second hit. So this fixes that issue. It's been an issue for a little while on our tree. It's part of the reason why we drifted towards Restless Hunter. in our tree, as well as with the Restless Hunter change with meta. But with this being fixed, it definitely makes the talent better. I'm not sure if we're going to end up dropping things to pick this up. In our single target build right now, I think we can drop like 1 point to come down and pick this up, and that point might be Blind Fury, which would be pretty bad. We'd have like no Fury generation. So we'll see what happens there. Again, that might be some more build changes coming in. Bees has done some preliminary sims for builds, which we'll get to. But overall, this is kind of a new thing here. It's a nice fix to it. It's definitely a bonus to No Mover. So if you play No Mover, then there you go. But overall, it's just a nice little bug fix that we needed for a while. So with my initial thoughts on the changes out of the way, we'll jump into some sims now. Again, shout out to Bees for the sims. All right, so again, thank you to Bees for the sims, but here are the before and after sims, basically. So this is tier 30 beforehand with Serrated Glaive, Restless Offensive, 1 point in Blind Fury, and then with the 428 buffs, it is a roughly 4,519 DPS increase. Now, of course, could be APL refined things that can go into this, could be a few other things. So this is just kind of first initial thing. Puts it at roughly like a 3.5 to 4% damage increase, if I remember off the top of my head. We go into the HTML report here. We can see the build they're using is this build here, which uses IP. Actually, I think I can get a better image down here for y'all. Yeah, I can. Here we go. So it's this build here, using Serrated Glaives, Restless Onslaught, and IP, and 1 point Blind Fury, and all that. Now, like I was saying, with the Chaos Theory buff, it could be possible we see dropping a point somewhere to come pick it up, possibly something like Trail of Ruin, possibly something like Blind Fury, because there is a point to be dropped up here, though I do think that Blind Fury is worse than Trail of Ruin, but again, we'll see. However, current front-running things are saying that's not very likely, but again, we'll find out. So this is kind of our sim breakdown here. Definitely a big min-max difference. You can see we're bursting for like 184k and stuff like that. So pretty interesting stuff. We are roughly at a 131 change. Now, if you're wondering why is there only actually one thing here, it's because Bees basically just did an override to have these come in. But it is a nice enough change, moving the bar a little bit there. Now, there were some other sims done. So this is tier 30 Havoc with the new changes, and these are just different Chaos Theory builds. So you can see here that dropping a bunch of different things for Chaos Theory is a loss. As well, No Mover also appears to be a loss. I believe HTG No Mover from the man, the myth, the legend himself, HTG, involves picking up Serrated Glaives and stuff like that, is also a loss compared to tier 30 right now. So again, though, you can see No Mover has a very big range for some reason. Very interesting there. But all in all, basically, Chaos Theory and the No Mover builds are still pretty far behind the normal tier 30 Havoc build. And finally, if you're looking at this and you're wondering, hey, I'm pretty sure that video you showed us last time has us at more DPS than 131. Well, you'd be right. So 130 is our current best sim, and that is with Toxic Thorn Foot Wraps and Toxic Armor Patch, which I will do another video on. So a little bit of a spoiler there. If you're confused about this, stay confused till like Monday or something. That should be when that goes out. But basically, Anvil, which is our best trinket. So I'll pull up the HTML report again. Go here. Go all the way down to gear. Click gear. This trinket here, Elementium Pocket Anvil, where you sharpen your weapon and kind of deal damage whenever you hit Chaos Strike. You have a chance to deal more damage. Yada, yada, yada. Is currently bugged, actually. Where it is doing 60% of the tooltip. Now, we are very unsure if this is actually a bug or if they just kind of decided to stealth nerf Elementium Pocket Anvil. Would be weird if they did. I don't think this trinket's like crazy or anything. It's good for certain classes, not good for others. Don't think it's anything insane, but could be bugged, could be stealth nerf. So again, it's doing 60% of the tooltip damage, so 40% less damage than it was before, which caused us to actually lose out on about 3,000 DPS or so. So if the thing gets fixed, then we're up to roughly 134 DPS, which puts us in line with other single target specs. I think Survival Hunter and like Enhancement Shaman are up around that 134 range as well. Now, we're still very far behind the range specs. I think Warlock right now, without PI, no PI. With PI, they're crazy, but without PI, I think they're at like 144. And I think Devoker's up around there too. So Havoc and Melee in general are still pretty far behind. But these changes do make it better. So again, if we see that fix to come in for Anvil, then this will end up being better. It'll be roughly 3,000 DPS higher. Because you hear this is basically the same as this. These two numbers are effectively the same, but they end up kind of being lower because, again, that Anvil bug or change, we're not sure, is in the game. So if that ends up changing things, I'll keep you guys updated. But those are basically it for the changes. Again, I'm pretty happy with these. It's a small buff. I didn't expect anything crazy. We're still kind of behind, but in general, all melee are behind. And this props us up to around the same level as other melee, as well as fixing some issues that the classes had, right? Serrated Glaive being 10 seconds sucked, not pandemicing sucked. And then finally, the thing where Chaos Theory not working also sucked. So overall, all in all, happy enough with these changes. We'll see if anything changes. If things do, again, I will keep you guys updated. That is what I do. But as it stands right now, roughly 4% increase in single target. We do more priority damage in AoE now. So I do think we'll be even better in M+. I think we're great in Mythic+. And this helps to shore us up a bit in Raid. 3.5 to 4% is nothing to scoff at. It's decent enough. Roughly 4,000 DPS, which is good. You know, I like buffs. I'm a big fan when we get buffed. We'll see if more things happen later on. But for now, that is the video. So if you enjoyed it, hit the like button, drop a comment down below, help spread this video to more people on YouTube, help the channel grow. If you're new here, you really enjoyed it, hit the sub button. I'll do tons of WoW content over the summer and in 10.1. Probably going to branch out a bit from just Havoc, but mainly focus on Havoc as well. And then if you really, really support it, want to help me pay the bills, help me improve the channel, link in the description, become a channel member. 3 different price points, very different benefits you get, all of them helping support me. So with that, I'll catch you guys later. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I hope you're excited as I am for these very minor buffs, but hey, better than nothing. Peace.